What I like about you is you are cheeky.
If there was a list of people who would ruin their own careers overnight, singer Natalia Kills from the second season of X Factor New Zealand would be the first name on that list. The singer, who'd worked so hard to leave her mark on the music industry, became the #1 public enemy within a single hour-long episode and has since disappeared from the public eye. Natalia Kills, with her relatively angry music, was branded one of Tumblr's most beloved artists in her prime, with a dark, achievable aesthetic and genuinely good songs. And to see it all come crashing down in mere moments was equally surprising and fascinating. With her husband in tow, Natalia Kills has indeed lived up to her name and, for better or for worse, ruined everything she's worked so hard to achieve up until that point. So, what happened to the singer? We never hear the name Natalia Kills anymore, and there's a reason for that. So join us as we take a look at what really happened to Natalia Kills from X Factor.
Into this, and for that, he must have worked hard.
Yes, I understand that. I agree with that.
Although she is now an artist who goes by many names, Natalia Noemi Cappuccini was born in a small town in Bradford, West Yorkshire. She went to Bradford Girls' Grammar School and spent her early years as a child actress. When she wasn't traveling, she was on BBC's All About Me and thought that she wanted to be an actress for the longest time. To her, acting was a way to escape her own life and play a character who was cooler or prettier than her. Despite all of this, Natalia wanted to move away from her town as soon as she could, and once described it as the kind of town that God forgot about, and joked about it being populated with sheep and assassins. This motivated then 14-year-old Natalia to run from her home and decide to quit acting. But as with most things in life, nothing is certain, and quitting her acting career so early had its ramifications on the young singer. She also had signed a pretty shady record deal and was forced to quit, which left her unemployed and homeless. This began a series of bad decisions made in her teen years that often got her in trouble with the law. There were cases of attempted arson, depression, legal trouble, and even involvement with a religious cult in her colorful youth before she found a path for herself. Natalia's music career began in 2003 when she had a significant breakthrough as candy rapper, winning a BBC Radio 1 MC battle in Leeds. Soon after that, she wrote the song Next Big Me, which was featured in the 2004 movie Sleepover. Things started to look up for the young rapper who signed with the UK record company Adventures in Music in the same year and released her first single, Don't Play Nice, under the stage name for the first time. Verbalacious as a stage name was actually a product of her childhood nickname Verbal that Natalia had been given by her mother. And for a few years after that, Natalia focused on a musical career, and the hard work eventually paid off in 2007 in the form of a breakthrough on MySpace. While writing music for film, she posted her demo of Womannequin to the social media site, and it didn't take long for the demo to go viral. Under the name Natalia Cappuccini, Womannequin received over 2 million plays on the website alone. She even reached the top unsigned artist chart. Around this time, she also went by the pseudonym Verse and co-wrote and appeared in They Talk Shit About Me by French recording artist M. Pecora. She also met Guillaume Dubé, who would go on to direct many music videos for her. Unfortunately enough, Natalia stumbled into trouble yet again due to the unstable nature of her life up until this point, and blew almost every penny she had. For a year and a half, she lived in cheap motels in Hollywood, trying to find a way to kickstart her musical career again. While not a perfect artist, she was introduced to will.i.am by a DJ, and was soon offered to sign with his record label, will.i.am Music Group. After having her birth name Natalia Cappuccini be called indescribable by her label, Natalia started using the stage name we most commonly associate with her today, Natalia Kills. The name was a product of the famous saying, "You killed it," and made her feel unstoppable. Natalia's sensational music, often described as dark pop, is a product of her pouring her soul and life story into her songs. Like most singers, this Leeds-born artist uses tragic moments from her own life to create songs that are as delectable as they are dark. In April 2011, Natalia released her album Perfectionist in Germany, which was her first deep dive into creating her own music on such a big scale. And her first single of 4, Mirrors, hit the German top 10 pretty soon after its release. Around 2010 and 2011 is when she started opening for big artists like Kesha and Katy Perry. Natalia was also featured in LMFAO's single Champagne Showers and Junior Caldera's Lights Out, Go Crazy. All this to say, Natalia's career was finally taking off in a meaningful way. In 2012, she released the music video for Controversy as a look into her second album, Trouble, one centered on her difficult childhood. The very next year at the MTV Music Awards after-party, Natalia performed a few songs off the album. And with it all, she was also settling into a love life. She'd found love in singer Willie Moon and married him on the 23rd of May 2014 in New York City. Natalia's journey of self-discovery and her struggles with her career finally felt like they might have come to a rest in 2014 when it was announced that both she and her husband, Willie, would be featured as judges and mentors on the second season of the X Factor New Zealand. They would have served as the mentors of the boys and groups categories respectively. But as we remember, things didn't quite go according to plan, and during the first live show, it seemed like both Natalia and Willie ended up ruining their own careers as judges before they'd even gotten a chance to be known. The two made increasingly cruel remarks aimed at contestant Joe Irvine in what Natalia has since claimed was a publicity stunt she couldn't defend herself against due to a wide-reaching legal gagging order. Natalia herself called Joe her husband's doppelganger and that he was cheesy and disgusting. But perhaps no one could have predicted the backlash the two would get, or a petition to remove the duo from the show to receive over 70,000 signatures within 24 hours. Even the show's sponsors spoke out, and like a self-fulfilling prophecy, the two were gone by the next week, replaced by Natalie Bassingthwaighte and Shelton Woolwright. This was the start of a new era for Natalie Kills. Obviously, there were repercussions from this incident that followed her throughout the rest of her career as Natalie Kills. Not long after being fired from the X Factor, it was revealed that she had left her record label, Cherry Tree Records, shortly before appearing on the show. As expected, after burning her career to the ground, it was hard for Natalia to pick up the pieces and start over again. Now obviously, in today's social media landscape, it's hard to believe that Natalia's actions had such severe consequences, especially because we see disgraced celebrities find their way back to fame quite easily these days. But 2015 was a different time, and to escape the hate spewing at her from every direction, Natalia saw no other way to save what was left of her career besides changing her name. And so in 2016, Teddy Sinclair was born, and with it, a new band called Cruel Youth. As members of the band, both Natalia and her husband could release music and attempt to escape the scandal they had created for themselves. No one can say for certain how successful that particular strategy was, but if you try to look at the comments on Cruel Youth's Instagram account, they're still full of vitriol to this date. The band released its first song, Mr. Watson, on SoundCloud, but was able to release their music on iTunes by the time their second song, Diamond Days, dropped. Around this time, Natalia also co-wrote Kiss It Better for Rihanna, a song that was nominated for a Grammy the very next year. Now 32 years old, Teddy refuses to talk about the X Factor incident or confirm whether it was a publicity stunt or not, but she did say that she would never support anyone doing what she did in 2015, and also she does not blame anyone for thinking that she was heartless. She did cryptically claim that if she were to tell everyone the truth, all the dread she and her family receive on a daily basis would go away. Now, years after the incident, Teddy also says that she refuses to act or play a part anymore, and that now she cannot be paid to be something she isn't. Today, Willie and Teddy, or as the world more commonly know her as, Natalia, are still happily married. In 2021 though, Teddy and her husband suffered a horrifying tragedy. The two were victims of a house fire and lost nearly every one of their belongings to the flames. The apartment was left completely charred and destroyed, and the fire reportedly in the Greenwich neighborhood was caused by the outdated construction of the building. Musically, Natalia has been doing very well, if only behind the screen, and has collaborated on songs for multiple globally renowned artists like Blackpink, and has even written music for big-time shows like Apple Plus TV's Central Park. As for their plans in 2023, the husband-wife duo plans to release their debut album as the band Cruel Youth with the lead single Wait in the Benz.